За ингээд подкаст сонслоо та бүхэндээ 2026 оны анхны дугаараа хүрэхэд бэлэн болсон байна. Тэгээд хэсэг хугацаанд завсарлага аваад тэгээд яг өргөжлүүлээд подкастуудаа та бүхэндээ хүргэж эхлэх гэж байгаа. Ер нь их баяртай байгаа. Тэгээд өнөөдрийн эхний дугаар бас ер нь спешиал дугаар хүрж байна. Яа тэгэхээр нэгт бичлэгтэй дугаар хоёрт болохоор хоёр зочинтой байх болно. Тэгээд бас хоёр хэсгээс бүрдсэн байх болно. Эхнийх нь англи хэл дээр явах байгаа. Тэгээд хоёр дахь нь болохоор монгол хэл дээр та бүхэндээ хүрэх болно. Тэгээд хоёр зочныхоо эхний зочинг та бүхэндээ танилцуулъя. Hi Martin.
Hi Roxy.
You may know Martin from maybe the stage of Fat Cat Jazz Club or like international jazz concert stages. But I also wanted today to take a chance to talk about more about like you as a jazz diplomat in a way.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Yeah, and our listeners know you as a bassist, like jazz bassist, but then there are so many things that you do for jazz music scene, and you were one of the people who the reason why like jazz there's a degree in bachelor's degree in jazz at the state conservatory, so I want to just say we're super grateful, and please take a chance today to talk more about what do you do behind when you're not on the stage,
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for the nice introduction, Roxy. I don't think I'm the only one who built the jazz scene here, but certainly I played a little part in it, and I'm very proud of what has happened here. Some great musicians, and it's a fantastic and unique environment. What do I do when I'm not on stage? A lot of bureaucracy, a lot of applications to keep things running. I mean, you want to be a musician when you're young. You say you want to play music, and then you realize at some point that there is you got to manage things. You got to be your own manager and organize your concerts. And then once you get into education, you have to keep that running. And with the GMUB and the program here, it's constantly just trying to keep things afloat. It's like a little company, basically, that we're running here.
Like company of your passion, maybe, right?
Of course. I mean, yes, the reward is not necessarily of financial nature, but it's, as they say, a labor of love.
You're also one of the busiest people, the most traveled person that I kind of know, because every time I see you, you're coming from a different country, or like in a couple of days, you're also going to a different country. So how do you manage to juggle like this, so many roles, And then also, is it safe to say that home is where like jazz is for you?
I travel a lot for the job, and I have a job at Munich University where I'm responsible for international affairs of our department. So that takes me to other universities quite a bit. And I like traveling. And I would say the constellation is a little weird because I work in Munich. That is where my financial resources come from. But my home, I would say, is here in Mongolia. Mm-hmm. So when I'm not here, I am basically on the road, and I am traveling, which means I don't really have an apartment in Munich. So for me, it's always going to places is also a place where I stay and where I work. And Munich is the same. Home is here, I would say.
I really wanted to congratulate you on a decade-long work you do here, because as I understood, it was back in 2014 when it all started, and now it's been more than a decade. How would you say, like, it changed what you view, what you saw, like back in 2014 happening, in contrast with like the reality of jazz music scene here now?
It changed a lot. I think a lot of things changed. There was not really back in 2014 when we opened doors. I would even go as far, and I hope this doesn't sound arrogant, but I would even go as far and say there was not really a common understanding of what jazz is. It was more like this feeling of jazziness that was around. It was kind of hip and cool, but the awareness of this music actually being a serious art form with all its subgenres and everything, that was not there. And so if I give a little historic overview over those last 12 years, it was that first generation, Temka, Tofcho, Huslin, Hongor, who are now the pillars of the jazz scene. They are the installments of this jazz scene. And I think that's the main change, that there is now a locally grown, strong scene. And now with the students here, we're facing the next generation. And that's the main change here. It's growing, and there's a lot of excitement in it. And if I look back, I think it couldn't have gone better, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you that there was this feeling of jazz, but then we never got to like experience it before. Maybe only from films and stuff, but then it would be kind of like this very like Bond film or something, like in a lounge or something. But then, like in my experience, I've definitely experienced firsthand like jazz experience during the Fat Cat days where I used to work. And then we also did the first kind of jazz festival, Jazz City Revival. And now to me, it's really crazy how like we kind of pulled it off during COVID, and then 40 plus musicians during COVID.
It was quite an endeavor, quite an adventure.
Yeah, that's when I like understood that jazz is definitely like a universal language. There were so many other countries besides like America, from the States, where they originated from. But then for you to see that there was potential like jazz music scene in Mongolia, what was the reason that you wanted to like, okay, there's something here also, like.
Well, there was no jazz really.
But why?
So
how did you decide to?
I came here in 2010 for the first time, and just did as you do some online research, is there some jazz around, and I discovered Ganbat, who later on had the UB Jazz Club and had this Giant Steps Festival. And so we got in touch with him, and then 2012 we played here with Kim Minchan and Paul Kirby and Martin Jacobson. And we did a workshop at the college here, which back then still was a college. And they seemed to like it. And we realized, the Goethe Institute got involved, and we realized there is a demand for that. And that's how we catered that demand, and it grew and grew and grew. And then the idea came up to institutionalize the whole thing and then make a jazz department. And I committed to doing it, and hence I'm still here.
Yeah. And I heard that you came for the first time here as part of a marathon.
Yes, to be exact, an ultra marathon up in Hofskol, 100 kilometers.
100 kilometers. Yes. Have you done a marathon since?
Oh, many.
Many.
Yeah.
What was your latest marathon?
My latest was about 2 years ago in Brazil, in Brasilia.
How many?
25, 42K.
Wow.
And 25, 26, I did not do one yet. Maybe I do 126, but we'll see.
But then maybe the secret behind your resilience and then like being very consistent with what you do is also kind of connected to you being also kind of an athlete, like participating in marathons. I think it's very unusual for musicians, maybe. I don't know.
It's in a way it's a burden and a blessing that I'm incredibly stubborn. People in my environment know if I want to do something, it's very hard for me to let go and not do it. I'm very, very stubborn. And also, I mean, this is maybe the secret of the success here, that I came here incredibly naive, not having no idea how involved I'll get into this, but also being very, very stubborn to just bite through until it's done.
I heard about the International Association Schools of Jazz,
Yes.
meeting is going to take place for the first time ever in Asia, and even the fact that it's in Mongolia is, when I heard about it, it was kind of amazing, And it's, for me, it feels like a full circle moment kind of for you.
Absolutely, yes.
So, please tell us more about how did this happen? When will the conference take place?
I mean, I totally agree about the full circle moment. And I want to point out another full circle moment for me quickly, which is when we started making plans for GMUB and the program. The idea was to enable local musicians to study abroad, do their masters, and come back and run the department. And that has happened now with Temka Munktimulen being the head of the department. And I want to give a big shout out for him. He's doing a great job. And that was really also a circle moment for me. And for the IASJ, I work in jazz education, and I became a board member in 2021 when the meeting was in Munich. And I think the next one was in New York the year later. And I was thinking, maybe bring this to Mongolia. Yeah, I did. Although I was quite scared. I didn't think it was real. And then in 2023, the next meeting was in Helsinki, and I went there with Mandkhai from JazzLab, who also became a board member that year. And then we thought, okay, let's do it. And we proposed. We made a very nice proposal, presentation twice in Helsinki, and then the year later in Austria. And after the General Assembly voted for Mongolia as the next location, I think Mandkhai and I were both like, all right, now we got to do it. That responsibility is on our shoulders, and it's a big adventure.
Yeah, like for those of our listeners and viewers who have never heard of this association, it was founded in 1989, which for me was like 89. This year has been coming up so much lately on my like feed and stuff, because the Berlin Wall fall of Berlin Wall was the year 1989, and there were so many musical genres that were kind of started that year. Actually, now I know that even during those times, jazz was also like very prominent, and musicians were active, and I feel like it's such a big year for music, it seems.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, certainly the IASJ was one of the first organizations that tried to unify and combine the resources of music education. And ever since it's been going well, and they had a meeting almost every year all over the world, and I think it influenced a lot of people. And honestly, I'm very proud of being a part of it. And also there's a change going on right now, a generational change. So I'm becoming one of the older members there, and we got young people now from not just Central Europe or North America.
So can you tell me in details, like, what are some of the discussions that happen during those like conferences, and for how many days does it happen? What exactly can the Mongolian viewers expect?
It starts officially, the opening ceremony is on July 6th, and we are very, very proud that we could win Danilo Perez, the Grammy-winning artist, one of the most important piano players of our times, to be the artistic director. And when I speak to him, he is super excited about coming to Mongolia as well. It's his first time in Mongolia too.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. In fact, I hear from other colleagues that he sends messages that say, "Hey, I'm going to Mongolia." So,
to everyone.
to other colleagues that I speak to sometimes. So that's when the big opening ceremony is. But I think everybody gets in a day before. We'll hang, meet. A lot of us know each other already. And then the IASJ basically consists of two components. One is we'll have around 40 to 50 students from all over the world. The universities send us our best students. There's also some Mongolians here. And they rehearse and create music for the entire week. And we have specially assigned teachers, one from each continent, because we want to be really global. And they will have a big performance, most likely on Sukhbata Square on July 11th. That's one component. Also, the students you will see all over town, because we'll have 4 jam sessions every night, including at Fat Cat and other places. And the other component is more the scientific, the research component, where we have people from Madagascar talking about Malagasy rhythm and how they influenced, how they influenced jazz music. Or we have a PhD student from South Africa who talks about musicians' health. Or we have master classes about Brazilian percussion by Edu Ribeiro, who is also a world-famous drummer. So everything from education to panel discussions about the development of jazz in Central Asia and all that will be there. We're currently collecting the calls, and then we'll schedule them.
Wow, exciting. I definitely thought, like, in the recent years, a lot of more and more attention is kind of coming to Mongolian jazz music scene through NG, because maybe before NG, I never thought that like a singer who sings in Mongolian can be well known internationally, not just jazz, but in any genre. So it seemed kind of like, is it really possible, you know? But then it feels like she definitely opened this new chance and new bridge to all Mongolian artists to consistently, like, to sing in Mongolian and then bring something Mongolian, like a Mongolian feeling to jazz music, which for me was like amazing, you know? Can you, like, as a musician, as also her professor, like, can you, like, maybe talk more about what kind of happened in the behind the scenes, how it all kind of started? Because I'm sure you know from the very beginning.
Yes, I do. I was there from minute one, basically. And since you just said I'm her professor, I used to be her professor, and I want to say now we're colleagues in Munich. She's a vocal teacher in Munich now, and she works like two rooms down from my teaching room, and I see her there all the time. It's also another circle closing, you know.
Wow.
When we did the first auditions here in August 2014, Angie was the very last one to audition. I remember that. And I remember she was wearing this red dress and really like dressed up and all that. And I thought what she sang already was really, really good. Of course, it was that copying somebody else. I think she did a Beyonce song or something.
Oh, wow.
But not her own style, because nobody did that. Nobody had his or her own voice yet. That's what also changed, that people understood jazz music is about your soul, your feeling for the music, not copying somebody else's story. And then she studied here, and we featured her in the big band when we had the GMUB big band. And then she was the first. Well, and then there was that incident that Goethe Institute had some money left at the end of the year that we needed to spend, and we did the first recording. And that was also the year, I think 2015, when it was Gonchik Somla's 100th birth anniversary. So the school encouraged us to do some Mongolian song, and we wrote some arrangements, and we were lucky that we got funds to record that. And then Angie started studying in Germany, did her master's there. And then she found the right people who really push her career and help her. And now she is a star. I mean, if you follow her schedules, she's playing in Tokyo and in Australia and everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's very nice to see. And she'll also come here. She'll actually be the teacher representing the Asian continent at the IASJ.
Well, even now we're sitting in one of the GMUB classes, and then to see the pictures hanging on the walls, I see both legendary musicians who I've had the honor of meeting during my time at Fat Cat Jazz Club, Jesse Davis and Ignacy
Terratha.
And then I heard that. So for me, it was for the first time I interviewed Jesse Davis back in 2016 by chance, just because there was no one. The original radio DJ who was supposed to interview him couldn't be there or something like that. And then, you speak English, like, can we do an interview? And then that same year, Ignacy was playing at the
Opera House,
yeah. And then I still till this day remember that they turned off the lights, and then we experienced how he experiences music, which was amazing. And then I just wanted to give a shout out and then say that they're also coming. I mean, Ignacy is coming.
Ignacy is coming, and maybe we should tell our listeners that Ignacy is blind.
That's
why
why they turned off the lights. Yeah.
And JazzLab, who is the main host of this event, and at this point I want to give a big shout out to Mandkhai, who is in there with so much heart and love and ideas and passion. And one of the ideas is that we'll also do a concert in the dark, probably at Fat Cat this time.
Nice.
And Mandkhai has organized that the Blind People's Association of Mongolia will give them free tickets, and we'll bring them there, and then have a discussion about what about the experience.
Yeah, so that's why I remembered because you were talking of like full circle moments, and then I guess for me it's also like a decade later. It's kind of like a full circle moment.
And Jesse will also come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll see him in a couple
nice.
of weeks. We play together in Athens, and probably in December we want to bring him back for a week.
Yeah, for our listeners who may not know Jesse Davis, he's a first of all great guy. Second, he's a world-known saxophone player, saxophonist, right?
Saxophonist, yeah.
Yes, and then also like I really encourage our listeners to maybe do some research on all the jazz musicians that come to play at Fat Cat or like during these days, because they have like amazing catalog of music, amazing experience, and then like including yourself, like you have over 40 albums, like.
Something like that. As a sideman, though.
Yeah, but still. So I really encourage our listeners to do a little research and listen to their compositions and music. So I wanted to ask you, what would you recommend for our listeners to maybe start off, like the anticipation of the IASG, and we're like.
Well, first of all, if you want to know more about the IASJ, go to IASJ.com. And I have to say, our website is not state of the art, but it's functioning. And if you have a little bit of patience, you'll find your way through. And I mean, one of the founders of IASJ was Dave Liebman. So that's a good starting point. Then get into the music of Danilo Perez, who was with Wayne Shorter until Wayne Shorter died a couple of years ago. That's a good starting point. But in general, when you get into jazz, try to stay away from the algorithms, because they'll feed you fast food jazz. If you like something, follow the musician's path, and get into musicians that you like. Don't let the algorithm decide what you hear. Listen to full albums. Listen to productions as they were designed by the artist, not just tunes by tune. And know who you're listening to.
Yes.
You know, if you like the drummer, find out who that is, and then find another record that he plays on.
Thank you for taking the time. I know you're a busy man, and best of luck with IASG.
Thank you.
I'm sure there are so many things you have to organize.
Yes.
And we will have our second guest will be Mandkhai, who will talk in details about the Mongolian jazz music scene. And so you guys are one of the most hardworking and resilient people in jazz music, and I just want to take the time to say thank you for all your contribution to Mongolian jazz music scene.
Thank you, Roxy, and I want to point out that it's people like you and all those volunteers who support the scene here. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. People who are in it for the love. That's very important. So thank you as well.
That's an honor. Thank you.